So
let's begin.
We're being entered into the machine.
Yeah, now you are part.
Oh no!
Now you are a Borg. Part
that
of the
case-
collectiveness.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait.
Yeah, I need to get my beer as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go live on Facebook. We are live on Twitch. We are live
Wait.
on YouTube. We're live everywhere. Too late.
Woo.
We're already live.
Oh no! So, classic German drink, Weinschorle. Wine with sparkling water, because
Oh my
the body
God.
needs water, but the soul needs alcohol.
But that just doesn't. I mean, if you're drinking wine, you're supposed to drink wine. You're not supposed to mix it.
I like it.
With.
I actually like it, sorry.
Well, okay. Well, whatever rocks your boat. Okay, we are live. Seems to be working. I'm gonna close these to avoid what's it called, lag. This is where it's going. Okay, so I need to spam this crap on the Facebooks and Pluettes of this world.
Oh my god.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
So. Oh, Pierce Enough just went live on Twitch. Very
Holy
good.
shit! Beware of that. It's this. I can share this. Share my group. This demo feels
Welcome
like it's
to the
looping
pre-show.
for 10 minutes now.
It's an old school demo, they all do that. Oh, it's that time of day again. Very good.
For 4 minutes, okay, whatever. Let's see. What else can I share this?
Ooh, a twister.
Insanity.
Sommerhack.
And a tunnel effect.
And the tunnel effect. A lot of lookup tables. Very good.
KB, do you still do anything for C64 at all?
I plan to do something, and then I kind of realize that it does take work, and then I don't. Nah, I've been very, very, very lazy in the last years. I mean, for me, it's just mostly party organizing now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's that thing coming up in 4 weeks. I should get
Yeah.
going, actually.
That small party.
Yep. We've got this organizer Dropbox, and I always see the notifications from Dropbox when people change there and put in new documents, and then the bad conscience starts. It's brilliant.
How many work actually takes place in the last 4 weeks?
Mostly all of it nowadays, because I mean, of course, main organizers like Defox and Madame and Stux and Cyrex and all these people, they are really working for months, but everybody else just swoops in the last month and does their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, revision hasn't drastically changed since its inception, since like 8 years, so everybody pretty much knows what to do. Yeah. Perhaps it's time for a new Easter party to shake up things a little bit again, but this year we will just do a revision again, and I hope it's gonna be good. Yeah, I think so.
I think it will be fine.
Yeah.
It's always good.
So for some reason. Yeah. I mean, last year we had this topic, like, okay, just revision.
Hello.
We actually did that on purpose because we didn't want to have another topic and to one up ourselves again. And so the topic was, hey, the theme was, hey, let's just have a demo party. It was definitely one of the best, so yeah. It worked because everybody was pretty relaxed.
And this year you fucked up. You decided to pick a topic again.
No.
What was that? Some kind of attempt at singing?
What the no? I don't know or the demo.
I don't think I hear everybody.
I don't see you, Pan. Can you turn off your camera and turn on again?
Oh,
No.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's pretty much stuck, isn't it?
Oh, something fucked up.
Just leave the page and enter again. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Whoop. Bye bye.
The good old turn it off and on again.
Mm-hmm.
Always works.
Okay.
Now?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And the echo's gone. Very good.
Great.
And it's stuck.
Got the names properly.
Can you see me?
Yeah, nice hat. You look like a tire mechanic.
I am.
You are
I got it
freeze
from my
framed
tire
here
mechanic,
though.
actually.
You are
Yeah.
like freeze framed. You only see an image. So maybe your connection is
But I
shitty.
can't hear PS now.
You can't see me? Okay. That explains why I can see you moving.
Let's
Maybe
fix
stop using wireless and put in a cable on your computer.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Well, we can hear you, so it's not terrible. We can still do the show.
No, I don't think it's working.
Yeah, let's see. I'm using a wireless bridge from one room to the next, by the way. Let's hope it holds.
Try again.
Same here.
Your connection looks better than Pans does. So.
True. Yeah, also I kind of borrowed the good webcam from the company. I can do this. Blur effects.
Ooh, fancy shit.
Wow. It's very useful.
Yeah.
Come back,
So-
man. Come back. No SceneSat stream yet. It should be working on SceneSat. What are you talking about? Oh, I didn't set the live. You are correct. I apologize, Perosian. You are totally correct. It should be live now on SceneSat as well. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. Evil Scarab and Porosion. And for other viewers who are stalking us. And now Pan can't connect at all.
Great.
Awesome.
Technology.
Technology works for your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Makes everything better.
Yep. Solves a lot of problems we wouldn't have without it.
A wild
it's not-
Pan tries to join. Here we go.
Whoa!
Seems to be working.
Okay.
Okay,
it
now you
doesn't.
you freeze from
We
again.
can't hear two of you.
Well, we hear you fine.
Yeah.
I think I can hear Plaque,
Yeah.
No. Well, he just said yeah now.
but not KB and PS.
How can you only hear one person?
Oh,
Selective hearing?
that might be the case.
Muted
I hear
and
a cat.
unmuted.
Okay, switching.
The cat is mine, not
Oh.
not Pan's.
Now I'm jealous.
Which is weird. Why, you don't have a cat? You should get one.
Yeah.
You're afraid you'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
labeled the old cat lady.
Yes, that too late for that, definitely. But that was better.
Yeah, Pan is not freeze framed anymore. That seems like a
I'm not
different-
freeze frame. Okay, good. That was edge.
And the
Also-
audio quality is better.
Okay, I'm using a proper browser now.
That's usually advisable. Yeah, usually you want a proper browser to do
You have to
internet
install it,
things.
and I usually don't.
Excellent.
So,
So, Gentlemen, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? We have 10 minutes left, so I guess we should watch the best demo ever before we start the show officially. And for those who don't know, the best demo ever is this one.
Okay.
Oh, yes, it is.
At least
Yes.
according to Plaque, this is the best demo ever.
That's in fact correct.
Because it illustrates the magnitude of the space race, the epicness.
Yes, and it sheds a positive light on Soviet strength. Oh, yes. Strong synthesizer air, too.
Oh, yeah, Plaque, I hear you've been doing a lot of synthesizer code lately.
Yes,
So
I am.
You stopped doing code for graphics and you only do code for synth stuff now?
There's a project in the pipeline that I'm doing with Kaito and Nitric, but we're doing it easily, just taking our time. But yeah, I started coding an FM synthesizer sometime last year, and right now we're turning that into a professional VST plugin.
Ah.
So yeah, but yeah, I like sound coding now.
Okay. I guess it's just different from graphics. It's more interesting to get into new stuff.
Well, I've always been into music, played the piano, did some DJing and stuff, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Frankie is saying that the best demo is Megaloo demos by Wild Copper, not
Well, then he's
19.
wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's 1961 by Storm Studios. Everybody knows that, except Frankie apparently.
It should be documented in books.
Oh, and Kebi Alkama sends his hugs.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hello,
Just to
Akama.
him?
Hugs back.
Just to him. He doesn't care about the rest of you guys. He doesn't care about me. He only cares about Kebi.
Asshole.
Yeah, most people don't want me, so that's a refreshing change, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, cheers.
Cheers.
Shit, I'm the only one without a beer. Well, I have water, so cheers. Okay, now that we watched the best demo ever, let's watch a demo that's also pretty okay. It's a classic 303 by Acme.
Yeah, that's just passable compared to this one.
Yep.
Midas will have tried not to crash while loading music. Very good.
Back in the days when you had to unpack your vocals to save space.
Great vocals, by the way.
Yeah, let's turn that on. Turn it up.
I haven't heard anything about Vic of Acme ever again. I don't know what he's up to. I see Statics on Twitter talking about his latest games and stuff like that, but Vic seems to have disappeared. From my radar, at least.
A lot of
Same here.
lot of people from that era have disappeared. Basically, the entire Dutch scene from that era is gone.
They
So you're-
applied so many Dutch color scheme colors that they decided to all retire.
Well, I remember sitting next to a deadline of Quad at Takeover 2001, I think it was, where they released VIP 2 by Popsy Team.
Mhm.
And after that demo was done, he said to me, "Yeah, this is it. I quit."
He quit because of VIP 2?
Yeah, that's what he said. It's like I've had enough. I can't compete with this.
Why?
Was too much.
Yeah, it had quite an impact at that time.
It had.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Vic got a career in dancing.
He did show some moves on this demo. And this was one of the first demos that really had video in the middle of it. I mean, it wasn't the first, but at the time it wasn't very common.
No. But it certainly seemed like a good idea.
Let's make video demos. We don't have to code effects. Just record and do the encoder.
Some post-processing. You know what I actually like better by Statics is that 64K paper.
Yeah, paper is really good.
Oh, yes. That came out on 1995, I think on X95, didn't it?
I don't know if it's 95 or 96, but it's definitely 90s.
Yeah, because I know I watched it. Oh, I think it was Wired 96 or something.
Yeah, Wired 96.
Yeah. I know. I watched that in the compo. We were all like, what the f is going on?
Yeah, the paper's flying.
Mm-hmm. This transition from 2D to 3D, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we still have time to play that. We still have 5 minutes left. I guess we can play that next.
I also like that Tom thing he did.
The what?
Yeah, that's like the generative thing. Tom
Thumb. Yeah. It was a video, but it had some generative, like random.
It was basically just coded.
People on the chat are debating what is the best demo ever. Some people saying it's Robbie's Yarik. Well, of course, Robbie's Yarik is the best demo ever. That was uncontested. We are talking besides Robbie's Yarik, what is the best demo ever? And other people say it's Nine Fingers or State of the Art. You are clearly biased because you like Amiga. Real demo sceners who were born on the PC age, the glorious master race of the PC, do not consider Nine Fingers and State of the Art to be the best demo ever.
Oh, there we go.
Give me a minute or two. I'm trying to at least log into Twitch and so they can see this chat.
It's mildly entertaining.
Oh, Genio just arrived. Hello, Genio. Welcome to the live stream.
Oh my god, we're live. Okay. Pop out chat, thank you.
Ooh.
Best PC demo ever is by Alcyon or Blasphemy. So either H+ or Moral Heart Candy, I guess. Right, Alcoma?
H+, come on.
I vote H+ as well.
Frankie is saying that the best PC demo is the winner demo. I metal bots.
Of course. Now, of course, the best PC demo was Perfect Drug by Elite Group in 1998, but that one's lost. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. It won the compo without existing. That's quite an achievement.
With farbrausch, we did that once accidentally, so yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that one.
Didn't you guys rig the voting at Ambience at some point?
Sorry?
Didn't you guys rig the voting at Ambience at some point?
Yeah, we rigged the voting so much that we kind of won the demo compo without having a demo.
Yeah.
And the organizers didn't realize that, and everybody else in the hall did realize, and people started booing, and we were like, fuck, what have we done? We ran. After collecting all our prizes, we ran very, very fast.
The audacity to actually collect the prizes.
They gave it to us. We couldn't stop them. They gave the prizes to us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening here, but Watch Together is not responding. So we are stuck.
I don't know.
Okay, should I stand still like this?
Technology.
Yeah, technology is working great. There we go. Reloading.
Apple Vision. It's kind of time now, isn't it?
Yeah. We're just gonna
Uh-oh.
watch this one, which is only 2 minutes long, which I guess
Okay.
is fine. If my screen here would refresh, that would be advisable as well. Let's try to do this.
New
Sorry.
glass of very German.
Technology issues happening live.
Live on stream in the internet.
And the sound is mismatched, but I guess you'll live with that. It doesn't have much sound anyways.
No, not much.
Wait, the demo length just increased from 2 minutes to 2 minutes 43. So definitely technology playing a strong part on the show today. Well, at least it's synced now, so I guess it's okay. And someone posted this on the chat. So was it Plaque? Was it Pan? Who was
Was
it?
it me?
that posted?
It was me.
Okay,
That's
so
the reason why I joined the Demoscene at a certain point.
it was
When I
the
was
app.
very young, I seen this thing.
Okay. You had an Apple II?
Yeah, I was one of the unlucky people that this crappy machine and couldn't make sense out of it, so I learned how to program.
Have you seen those more recent Apple II demos that have like some color tricks and stuff?
Not really, no.
I have to link you some stuff then.
Oh.
It was released at Party, and they have some special tricks that changes between high res mode and non-high res mode to give you yellow color, which supposedly is impossible.
Ooh, yeah, there was none, actually.
So I guess it's time. So welcome everyone to Mystery Demoscene Theater. Wait, we have a dance?
That's it. That's the demo.
Inspiring.
Well, I claim this was the first demo ever.
For you, the first demo you saw.
It's the first I saw, but it's also quite old, so...
It kind of is like Robbers Jara.
It's an earlier version of Rovi's Yarek. Okay, so I guess we'll start with you, Pan. First of all, welcome everyone to Mystery Demoscene Theater 9000, Season 4, Episode 3. I have our guest with us today, Super Plaque, KB, and Pan of Spinning Kids. We're gonna start up with Pan. So Pan, tell us, how did you get into the demo scene?
Well, as I said, I learned how to program because I had an Apple II, so I couldn't do much with that machine. And then when I got a PC, I started doing graphical stuff. And this is one of the first things I did. Because it was too complex to code a full-blown polygonal engine. So I thought, let's go for ray tracing.
You were one of the first guys doing actually ray tracing stuff. I remember ray tracing intros from you and from 216 of MFX. Did you know of other people doing ray tracing stuff at the time?
No, and there was a third group, an Italian group, that was from my own city, same city, and they were doing another ray tracing engine, and we didn't know each other.
And then the internet made the connection possible.
Actually, I think we met at assembly.
Mm-hmm.
So, because this demo, this 64K was supposed to be released at assembly 95, I think, and then we didn't make the deadline. So
back in the days when everyone wanted to travel to assembly to release their entries there. So when did you first start the demo scene? In the early 90s then?
93, 94.
Okay.
About that time.
And just doing DOS stuff at the time.
Yeah, DOS stuff.
Did you ever feel the need to go back to Apple and do like a proper demo on the Apple?
No, I never did.
No, I'm not a masochist, thank you. Okay, so tell us about your career. How did you found Spinning Kids? I mean, you didn't start with Spinning Kids, did you?
No, I didn't. Actually, Spinning Kids are the union of two groups. My previous group was Kuz, and we joined another group that was called Spinning Bugs. And so we made it together. Became Spinning Kids.
Okay. Were there parties already happening in Italy at the time?
Not really, no. We were just connected via FidoNet, so...
Why's Plaque laughing? What's funny about that? Parties in
Italy, of
Italy.
course.
Ah, that's so funny.
Of course there
No.
are parties there.
Well, there was other kind of parties, but not demo parties.
Yeah, Mr. Berlusconi.
He was having quite funny parties, I think.
So I think the first parties I heard from Italy were the real Italian party, Trip. Were there other demo parties
was
before
another-
that?
There was one before that was called The Gathering, and it's actually where this intro has been released.
Hmm.
Was it 95 or 97? Now you... I think it was 97 actually. I said 95, but I bullshitted you.
Okay, Genio has a special request. He wants us to say hi to Alexandre. So can you all say hi to Alexandre? Hello, Alexandre.
Hello,
Hi.
Alexander. Whoever you are.
The next demo that we have from you is Heart by Spinning Kids. And this was a bit later, late 90s, no?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Actually,
this.
I didn't do much of this. Just the ray tracing part again.
So you're only stuck doing ray tracing things?
Yeah, I was trying to do a better ray tracing and I failed completely. Because this one's actually worse looking, in my opinion.
This was already for Windows, actually. It was
Yep.
released at Abort 2000, which was the only party I ever heard of in Slovenia, I believe.
Yeah, we went there quite a lot, quite sometimes, I think. And
Because you didn't have any parties left active in Italy, right?
no, there was this trip, 1998 and 99. But also, it was not far away. It was, well, by train it was 10 hours, but by car it was 4. So... pretty
Were there
easy.
like boats to? Well, I guess
Sorry?
it depends. Well, I was thinking that the easier way to get to Slovenia would be by boat, but apparently I'm completely wrong.
No, because it was held in Ljubljana, so it was quite in the middle of the country. So
Okay.
not easy to reach by boat. Actually, no, I think you are thinking about Croatia, not Slovenia.
It might be possible, yeah.
Because
My
Slovenia
Balkans are
has
it's
got
not very
a
accurate.
Tiny piece of coast, and at the time I think it was not even supposed to have that part, but so still they were still arguing about that.
Political stuff.
Yeah, it was just I think the war in Yugoslavia was still going on.
Yeah, 2000. So yeah.
Yeah. The first time we went there, it was 1998. So,
Genio is saying that you can get to Slovenia either by plane, by train, or by accident. You can't really get there by boat. So, Pan, tell me a little bit about the Italian scene, because there are not that many Italian demo sceners. So how many people are there active or were active? Tell us a little bit more about that if you can.
I would say 30 to 50. I don't know much about the previous Amiga scene and the C64 scene, to be honest, because they were long gone when I joined, so never met them. But yeah, there was, I would say 50 people. That's
Back in the day, what about now?
now 0.
Now now we're all retired.
Maybe Dixon is still doing something, but I'm not even sure about that.
There was this party that was happening nowadays, but I guess it hasn't been organized in like a few years now. Was Scan and Delilah that were organizing it, I think?
Oh, yeah. It was in the Northeast, yeah.
Yeah, KB, I think you went there once.
It was once, I think. It was
I'm
Horde.
forgetting the name of the party.
Oh, yeah.
Horde. It was like in 2007, and I went there. It was quite a trip getting there with Ryanair and trains and everything, but it was really nice. It was like the small place, but with a big meadow in front of it, and so basically half of the party went off outside, the other party was inside, but it was nice. Yeah, not that many entries.
Yeah,
Sadly, but
small
for example,
parties.
Gaga and we did a 4K together just to fill up the compo a bit, and yeah.
It's a shame there are no parties in Italy anymore.
Yeah, someone has to organize one.
The scene is dead.
And I'm not even living in Italy anymore, so...
So fuck that shit. So, Pan, tell us, for the guys who don't know you personally, what do you do for a living? You're a programmer? What do you do?
I'm actually no, I don't program anymore. Actually, I forgot how to program because we've been promoted to manager.
Ah, the good life. You just tell other people how to program shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot how to do that because really it's useless now. I work for Nvidia, and and I do the most common thing you can do now, AI, deep learning, that stuff.
So are you involved with the research in Nvidia? I guess they have a lot of research going on, not just a single department.
Not really research. No, we are a bit borderline between research and development because, of course, when you do something with deep learning, it's not really cast in stone. So it's something completely new.
Nvidia has been doing a lot of research on it. It's like when you find stuff on GitHub for new stuff using neural networks, you see Nvidia research there a lot.
Yeah, I know. And
which is quite good. I'm divided if I should ask you to talk about the demo or if I should ask you to keep talking about your experience working for Nvidia and what you did before working at Nvidia, because I know you used to do artificial intelligence for Formula 1 stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot name the company because my contract say I couldn't, but I can tell that it's a red car company, so...
Which all companies have red cars, so it's pretty non-descriptive.
Exactly. All companies do Formula 1 and they have red cars.
So what do you do in Nvidia exactly? You said you do like applications to the market of their technology. Can I ask you, or is it like NDA that you can't talk about?
No. I'm still trying to figure out what I do really. So that's the main problem.
I sit at the office in Zurich and I wait for people to come in.
Exactly.
The ideal
Talk to
job.
people every day. That's it, more or less.
Okay, let's talk back about demos then.
Actually, I'm trying to get away from super resolution for the last 3 years. I started as a joke. When I joined, they asked me to have a look at these neural networks. So I said, okay, what can I do with computer graphics and neural networks? Simple to do as a test. Super resolution, try to upscale an image. I did that, and it turned out that, well, I did that for pictures. Then someone wanted to do that for game footage, and we did for the game footage. Sometimes someone wanted to do that in real time. Someone else did, and we have them in training. So it's been 3 years that I just do super resolution stuff.
Which is very useful and interesting, but I guess you're tired of it.
And they wanted to do videos about that, so super resolution of videos. And we did that.
I guess you have to have into account optical flow and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. I mean, and Nvidia has this very nice policy of usually putting stuff open source available for people to mess around with their research. So it's definitely interesting stuff.
Yeah, for the research, yes. For our part, no, because well, we produce more products than.
Okay.
So it's difficult. We don't have everything open source, but we have some stuff open source, and we are getting better at that. For example, the site in Zurich is famous for producing physics. The physics simulation recently was open sourced completely. So now no NDA, nothing required anymore. I just download it from GitHub. It's PSD.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, let's try to go back into the demo scene talk here. Now we're watching Anaugen. It was a 64K for Bwensley, probably, no? Let me look it up.
I think it was Bwensley, yes.
And I remember meeting you at Bwensley quite a few times. So
I think we went then. Did we go there together in 2008?
This was 2002. But
yeah, this one, yes. But in 2008, did we go together?
Yeah, I remember visiting you and staying with you. Yeah. I don't know what year it was.
It was 2008 because I had my new apartment. So I remember.
If you say it's 2008, I believe you that it was 2008. I remember traveling. I think we traveled from Bwensley to your place, and then we went somewhere else, or I caught the plane somewhere else. I don't remember anymore.
There was supposed to be a party, and there was no party anymore for some reason. Some party was cancelled. I think.
Well, anyways,
Anyway.
was very cool party.
Yeah.
And it was in Zurich at some point, and now it's
And near Zurich, it was in winter too. Yeah.
and now it stopped being organized, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other parties show up to replace things, but it seems that the southern part of Europe is feeling a bit partyless at the moment. Like Spain doesn't seem to have any demo parties. Italy doesn't seem to have any demo parties. Even Switzerland seems to not have as many as it used to.
No, there's none. I can tell you.
Sorry, we took them all over. Germany has like 20 now or something.
Spain had great parties.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spain has fabulous parties. I mean, come on, the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the BCN party, and there were a lot of. I used to attend a lot of great demo parties in Spain, so I don't really understand why people. I mean, I understand that they stop having time and they stop caring about spending so much time of their own to organize something that only like 20, 60, 200 people show up for. But it's a shame that no one else picked up. I mean that.
Well,
I'm especially talking about Spain. It seemed to die out completely. Only Yoskal still remains, and it's like a very insignificant demo scene portion of it that's still active, and it pains me. I feel sad inside that we don't have any motive to go to Spain anymore and talk very bad Spanish to people.
in Italy, I know the reason. It was a pain in the ass to organize a party there.
Well, why was it a pain in the ass?
Because you can't have something that goes on 24/7, 24 hours. So
hard to find a location?
No. The law doesn't allow that, and so they managed to do that in 98 and 99. Well, the one before was not authorized, basically. In 98 and 99, the trip, the Real Italian Party, was actually authorized. They managed to do that by dodging the law and saying that it was like a chess match, and so people needed to work during the night, and they managed to keep it open for 24 hours. But it was really painful. In the end, the organizer didn't want to do that anymore. So, and I cannot blame them because.
I mean, in Portugal, we have problems finding venues that will let us do 24 hours, but we can always find something that people don't care to officially check what you're doing in the actual party. I know some parties in Germany had some problems with those right collection agencies that they wanted. If you're doing officially a party, you have to have the special license to play music and that kind of stuff.
Oh, actually, for Germans, it's pretty much impossible to even do a demo party. But then we had NetPoet, who kind of talked that out with the rights collection agency and kind of came to terms with them that normally nobody ever in this country gets. And we're still completely flabbergasted as how it works. But we can play music on demo parties again and even admit that we do. So, yeah.
So we clearly need more NetPoets in Italy and other places.
He's a lawyer, right?
So cheers to NetPoet.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
Odd bureaucracies, the German bureaucrats in that regard. And
cheers to NetPoet.
Doing it, but he's brilliant at it, definitely.
He's a lawyer, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yes, he is a lawyer and a musician. Yeah. I guess we should move on to our next guest of today, which is Plaque. And Plaque didn't want us to play this demo. It's called Fantasy by Trinity.
No, that's actually not the worst one.
Which is
this one is acceptable. So Plaque, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into the demo scene? When did you first join? When did you first get interested?
All right, so like early in my life, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, my dad, who was a programmer, database stuff, he introduced me into programming, and I immediately started into BASIC. And I immediately started to try and replicate games that I like, and that lasted for a few years. And then I went into a bookstore and I bought a CD-ROM called game development. And on that CD-ROM was 0 games, but there was source code for demos, actually executable demos, quite classic ones, and guides how to join IRC. That's basically where it started. And then we're talking about 94, 95. So when I get started, I made my first BBS intro in 1996, I think. Then made a bad 64K in 97 or 98, and this one in 99 on Takeover 1999. Pure assembly, just because I didn't know any better.
That's just crazy.
And yeah, that's basically where it started. The music is by Oki, so that's where I met that motherfucker. And yeah, it kind of went on from there. And I tried hard for a couple of years, then had a long layoff, and then, as we all know, I challenged Kuzma later on, which didn't.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that when the playlist reaches that part.
Yeah. Well, to me, I'm still not done. Because
you still want your revenge.
No, not with him. He's a cool guy. No, just I want to get the most out of myself for once, at least, because I know that everything I've done up until now does not reflect what I'm capable of. So I'm not done, and that motivates me to this day. And apart from that, it's been, especially in Holland, but actually across the entire Europe and probably also the other continents, it's been a great way of making friendships and gathering knowledge that you could eventually use to actually figure out a way to make a living. Because if I wasn't in the demo scene and I didn't know all these guys and I didn't let them tell me how to do things and build my network that way, I never would have gotten into the game industry and I never would have met any of you guys. So for me, it's been a very positive experience. But other than that, yeah, I'm not done.
Tell us about the shader thing that you're trying to organize. The Shader Grand Prix, is it called?
Oh, yeah. Gladly. I was watching an MMA competition on a sports channel, and they had a heavyweight competition that had kind of the same kind of style bracket that we had, basically, that we have now, basically. And I just had that idea. So that my idea was like, okay, let's just gather some well-established old guys, fill the bracket with that, make it, let it last for an entire year, and let's see where this goes. It's an experiment for me too. I mean, both me and Tamo are up at Outline. We not against each other, lucky me.
I so need to practice, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even start.
No.
I never rolled.
So you're all well prepared, like proper demo sceners. Wait till the deadline.
Look, I just wanted to do something that reflects the WWE style, just pure entertainment. That's what it's all about, and that's how I can.
How does it differ from the usual shader showdowns that we've been having?
First of all, it's got more
Attitude.
That's exactly the word I'm looking for. It's got a lot more attitude. There are different rules.
Well, what are the rule changes then?
We have a texture budget, and we can use the HG-STF library.
Okay.
Apart from that, what I really wanted is just to put on a show. Because if I look at like regular shader showdowns, and I'm not trashing on them because Havok is helping me out a lot with that, like the organization part of it. But what I see is just plain shit, plain colors, ugly. It doesn't really it doesn't really blow my mind when I see it. Sometimes it does, but more often it doesn't. And I think it's just fun to pick out like a weird bracket of people from all walks of the scene and let them compete with each other. And the thing that almost all of us share is that we haven't done it before, ever.
So,
So that's
isn't it a bit weird to put the old schoolers doing shader stuff instead of having the new people who are used to doing shader things? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to having them do with, you know, regular 3D and old school 2D effects on the old frame buffer?
For one, I like it. I completely like it to get completely put out of my own comfort zone. Like, shit, I've been so lazy for the last 10 years, and suddenly the new kids are doing stuff that I kind of understand. I mean, I know how to write shaders in principle, but with time pressure and having to look good, this is going to be a challenge, definitely, and I love that.
Yeah,
that's I totally second what Tomo said here. That's what it's about. It's going to be shit hard for most of us, if not all of us. I mean, we have LJ in there, and he's the only one who's done it a few times. But even
He can be beat. We know that now.
Yeah, I know. But even Smash was like, I'm scared. I might feel like I'm getting exposed here.
People expect they have this image of you being like this god of making demos, and then suddenly you're in front of a shader and you just freeze for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you might get fucked over.
Look at this. It's like flashing bright and dark, and that's it. The whole screen. Yay! After 25 minutes.
Let's put more hypno glow on it. It will look awesome.
So, yeah, the idea was to put people out of their comfort zone, take well-known names, and call it a heavyweight competition.
Okay,
Why did you pick me, sir? Why did you pick me for well-known names?
They needed an underdog. They needed the Italian underdog. You're like Rocky. You're the Rocky of the Grand Prix. Have you been training, climbing those steps and jumping?
No, actually, me and Pan have been hanging out for quite a while, and he was the obvious choice. Either he likes it or not. He just is.
Okay, so we're gonna have one of the qualifiers at Outline apparently, and when are the other ones taking place?
Yeah, that's still up for grabs. I want to ask to have at least 1 or 2 matches at Evoke. And at that point, we'll be looking at the finals. And somewhere in the end of the year.
Okay. Well, you can have them at Inertia if you want. It's in November, so you're welcome to come.
Yeah.
If we organize an Inertia, because we haven't found a party place yet. So we have the trouble from the Italian that we need to find a party place that lets you keep open 24/7.
What's something that I really wonder about is who will get where. Who will win, who will advance, who won't. It's completely random right now because I don't know how well I'm gonna do. I don't know how well Tamo's gonna do. I don't know how well anyone's gonna do.
Go to Outline and find out, apparently, or see the live stream. I guess you can also check.
Also, this demo was in the time that you could still use commercial music without getting shit for it.
Now the stream has just been interrupted because of Article 13, but hey.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Article 13, now called Article 17, apparently, by some mysterious reason.
Yeah, please don't talk about it. It's depressing enough. Seriously, don't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
but it's a serious concern. I mean, in the future, this very live stream might not be able to go forward. I mean, we might get a sudden copyright strike and just...
YouTube does that even now. YouTube kind of cancels live streams in the middle because somebody's playing music in the background, so...
Curiously enough, when the Mystery Demoscene Theater episode gets archived, it shows that there were a few copyright notices, but I never got like a shutdown on Mystery Demoscene Theater from YouTube. I did get on other live streams that I do when I play too much music that is copyrighted in a row. Sometimes it just triggers by randomness. but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen very often. Anyways, let's talk about this demo. This was one of my favorite demos of yours, Plaque. It's the
Yep.
Pimp Brigade 02, and it's very
Yeah.
in-your-face techno-style stuff. And you did a couple of them like this. So, what can you tell us about it?
I just did a disco demo before this when I was 16 at the Tersak. And I don't know why I made this. Someone gave me this track and I just sat down and put it together. But as you can see in the end, it's not finished. But it starts out quite strong. It was quite fun actually. It was released at Mecca. And I remember sitting on the stage when it was played, and people were quite amused with the groove of it, so to speak.
With the Ale. I remember playing this at a few parties afterwards, and whenever it would start with the noise part and the guy saying Ale, we would all start shouting Ale!
Yeah, that was actually a French guy still of Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with that.
With the Ale. On va enculer ton RGB.
RVB.
RVB, because they don't know how to say B, apparently.
Yeah. Or green.
And this one is TPP05, Started Walking South, which is a bit of reminiscent of the previous vibe of that previous demo.
Oh, it's exactly the same. It's something it was a few days before Breakpoint 2003. This was, and we have 4 effects or something, or 5. And a friend came rolling in, and he basically said, "Why don't you just split them in every kind of way imaginable?" And that's what we did.
And then you got art.
No, this has nothing to do with art. This is just blunt rendering and stomping and whatever. But I kind of liked making it. It was still in a time where you could smoke inside the hall and it was cold. And
Scene Event 2003.
Hmm?
Scene Event 2003.
Yeah, that's what it's advertising here. Yes.
Oh, the invitation for Scene Event, maybe.
Yeah, this demo was released at Breakpoint.
Okay, okay.
No, not Break. Yeah, was it called
Mecca
Breakpoint?
Symposium, maybe?
The one after Mecca was Breakpoint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
exactly.
The
first
last
one.
Mecca was 2002, and then Breakpoint, the first Breakpoint was in 2003. So yeah, this was probably Breakpoint.
Yeah. So this was about 16 to 20 hours of programming without sleep, and then I crashed.
It's interesting because there aren't that many demos with techno sounds. Well, there are a few, but it's like it's interesting that we can like make a playlist of just demos with techno house sounds.
Yeah.
And most of them, when I was doing that playlist, most of them you had a few, and then MFX had a few, Diormas had a few, but there aren't that many when you think of it. It's like a very niche genre inside the demo scene to make a demo out of.
Nowadays, Nobi makes a few good ones, I must say.
Back in that time, I actually also DJ techno records, so I was really into stomping sounds.
Yeah.
Now you're more into
kind
Italo disco.
Disco, Italo disco, pop music.
Oh my god, pop music, you fucking sell out.
Well, I'm not a sellout if it's 80s pop music, right?
Ah, okay, okay. So, but that's not pop music, that's 80s.
When I play Easy Lover, you're gonna dance.
Easy Lover is a true classic indeed.
Yeah, I like Phil Collins. And I like Whitney Houston too. That might actually be a good type of music to use for a demo when it's a Whitney Houston track.
We're getting
Oh.
onto something. We're getting onto something.
Yep.
It hasn't
Most
been done
romantic
before, so it's definitely
Maybe
worth
for a
trying out.
reason.
Because people are too closed boxed, you know? They don't think outside the box. They're not visionaries like we are. Anyways, at some point, eventually you join Desire, like seems most people from the Dutch demo scene end up doing.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
So, what can you tell us about this demo? Apparently, you participated in it, even though it's Amiga.
Yeah, I wrote a few lookup table effects. I'm not sure why.
Someone coerced you into writing stuff for Amiga.
Yeah, that's so not me, is it? Look, I'm a PC boy. But yeah, I hung around with some Desire guys, and they were making this thing as a comeback, and yeah, I wrote a few routines, and that's it.
I love how you're like this guy. Like it's not mine. I didn't do Amiga stuff. I have a reputation to keep.
Oh, I have zero reputation. Wrong, but being an Amiga coder certainly is not one of them.
I mean, you've been known to diss a lot the 8-bit platform stuff, and I guess Amiga is considered an old school platform.
Have I dissed 8-bit platforms?
Yes. Shall I look up web threads where you do it?
Well, please don't.
Okay. Let's move on.
No, you're onto something. I used to be a huge dick.
Yeah, that's true. I remember you and I had some arguments as well in the past. But then you made this awesome stuff from Megahawks, and everything is forgiven because you captured the feeling of Miami Vice.
That was fun to make.
So what can you tell us about hot stuff?
I was on vacation with my dad in 2009, and then I wrote a couple of these voxel routines. And then before this particular outline word was released, I drank for 4 days and I coded for 4 days. And I got some music from a Finnish guy, Dr. Vector, who's actually Tempest of Firelight. And yeah, well, I kind of decided to put this together. And I'm kind of happy with it, though I'm still looking to make a better one. So
it does have that whole Italo disco flavor to it.
Oh yes, the soundtrack is as Italo as it gets. Dr. Factor didn't pull back, but otherwise, yeah, it's very cheesy. This is like a voxel sphere with a classic Amiga font going through it, and these are what you'd call Italian colors.
Italian colors.
I do remember that at the end of the outline demo party, there were Italian people there, and they came up to me. It's like, "What's with the Italian shit?"
I have Italian friends. I've been transformed, transmuted, hypnotized by the fabulous Italian culture.
I like this effect with the hot stuff logo and the fire and the flames. But the best part is probably the weightlifting robot.
The what?
Weightlifting robot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a weightlifting robot.
Oh yeah.
It looks very manly for a robot.
Oh yeah.
Shouldn't it be more robotic? That's the graphics he gave you, so you had to roll with it.
No, actually, I like these graphics.
The thing is, this looks more Amiga than your other PC stuff. This looks totally Amiga.
That was the intention. And then the ending did well for the crowd.
Alcom is asking, where's the pizza?
Wait.
Wait for it. Mega.
Nice.
Nice.
Good idea, actually.
You still have pizza left. Anyways, let's talk about your challenge with Kuzma. You challenged him a few times to do an XS versus the Pimp Brigade face-off.
Yeah. It all started at the scene event 2001 or 2002, and we got really close, but we weren't really trying. And then years later, I just had to have some kind of motivation, to do something. And I had some great help from Glow of Ink and Shifter this time around again. And yeah, we tried to beat them, but obviously that didn't work out well.
But you made a very cool demo. I mean, that's the point. I mean, you need an objective to have something that you can work towards, but then you can be proud of the result, regardless of the...
I think it looks good. It's stylish. But alas, it was no match for Earthquake.
XS are just too good.
No, they're not. They just spend more time.
So you're challenging them again for your next demo release?
No. I've learned my lesson. I've had my ass whooped.
Yeah, so that's why we are doing the live shader coding, because we know we're kind of all equally as bad.
You can have your ass kicked without feeling bad.
Yeah.
No one had time to prepare, so it's fine.
Yeah.
At some point in the shader compo, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, indeed. And I just hope there's enough beer after that.
Someone is asking how old is this demo? Do you know by heart, or shall I look it up?
2014.
Yeah, 2014. You got 4th place at Kindergarten 14.
Yeah, which was not fair.
That's what you get. You go to Norway, you have to endure the Norwegian votes.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And actually, I get along with Kuzma very well. I just saw him a few weeks ago when I was in Oslo and had some coffee, talked some synthesizer. Mm-hmm. So we're good friends, actually. So the whole back and forth was fake.
Alcama is saying that now that Kuzma uses Vulkan, you have way more time than he does to do stuff. Or the Vulkan is very hard to use, or very time-consuming.
I remember he was making this demo called Aurora, and he'd been bitching about Vulkan all the time.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, what do you expect? You're using a low-level API to do something rather high-low.
Mm-hmm.
Always runs while others walk. Okay, yeah, the last.
That's a quote I like.
From where was that taken from? Do you remember?
This?
No, the quote from the end of Assassination.
Oh, that's from the soundtrack from Thunderball, the James Bond movie. The song by Tom Jones.
Right.
Yeah, this is just a rehash.
Using old effects on a new Desire demo.
Yeah, and it's not even a demo. It's basically just a Christmas Eve thing. I would highly suggest not to watch the entire thing because it's just not going to be more than this.
It just loops. Okay, so let's move on to our next guest, which is KB of farbrausch and Smash Designs and 500 other groups.
The Obsessed Maniacs was my first one.
So KB, tell us, how did you get into the demo scene?
Oh god.
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I just want to see what demo this is that you're playing.
This is Mathematica by Reflex.
Mathematica. Okay, yeah, I did the music routine for that. But yeah, no. So how did I get into the demo scene? So yeah, I think it was like I found demos in like early 90s, 1991 on a few discs that I that people were copying, and I, of course, didn't ever copy anything. Article 13 and stuff like that.
Never.
And so on one of these discs, I found a few demos, and I was like, okay, what the hell is this? It's just doing stuff, and you can't even control it, and it's looking cool, but what the hell? But it's kind of nice. And then there was, in Germany, there were like an official magazine that you could buy at magazine stands, but which was on disc. It was called Magic Disc, or there was another called Game On for games. And they basically had a small Demoscene corner where there was like one file demo on those discs every month.
And they sold the discs?
They sold those discs at newspaper stands, so it was pretty weird. But
I wonder if the people submitting the demos to be shared there got any money from that.
And the people submitting the demos, if you got the demos in there, you got like 50 German marks, so 25 euros or stuff like that. So that was the prize. But there were I had a friend here in Oldenburg back then where I was trying to do demos with, but we had no idea how to get into the scene. But then people, the Obsessed Maniacs won that place on that disc mag, and they had a demo, and they basically, hey, this is our address, let's meet. And so we met them, and 1 year later we kind of were the Obsessed Maniacs and did our first demo in '93, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Called Who Cares, because we didn't.
This demo is 10 minutes long, so I think you should probably skip it. Do you want to say anything, how you got into coding sound at all for the C64, or shall we move on?
I mean, I had my first C64 was like 8 years old, and of course I typed all the stuff that was in the manual of the C64, and I always liked music, and I always liked electronic music and making music, so that was a natural fit. So that's basically all. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the next demo we have on the list, because you have a very long list. You seem to be active on the demo scene for a very long time.
Right through it. That's fine. It's okay.
So the next demo we have lined up is Totraum 209 by Purge.
Whoa. Okay, yeah.
So what the hell is this? This looks like Finnish.
This fake. I think it's fake Finnish.
Why is a German
Purge,
group doing fake Finnish demos?
Yes, Purge. I mean, just look at the other demos by Purge. They are peculiar, but this was actually one of the first actual real-time synthesis things that were going on a PC back then. I think it was 2001 or something. And they started this whole synthesis thing, and they actually made a whole programming language for that synthesizer. But they looked for someone who was able to actually get some music out of it.
And that was you.
So that was you. So basically I programmed in their weird scripting language, and I had to put notes in there and kind of put sequences and stuff.
This got first place at Mecha Symposium 97. PC
97 was it already? Oh fuck, yeah, of course. Yeah. So that's more than 20 years, but that's basically my first experience in sound programming. And of course, I didn't do the bulk of the programming, but this was where I kind of, okay, this is how a synthesizer looks, and this kind of got me hooked, actually, for all the rest to come. Yeah, let's just wait for a few more minutes for the fake 303 that's coming up.
I'm gonna reorder the guest here, because Plaque is having some technical difficulties. He's back now.
I see him again.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, let's try to listen to the 303.
Yep. Hear the 303 now. Which basically is not really a 303, it's basically the cheapest algorithm that you can get, but 97.
Can't get enough acid. And this was in the time that TPL was doing Stash and Jizz and that kind of demo, 64K, so...
Yeah. And what they did was good, but what they did wasn't real time, it was like pre-calculated samples. So, and this was actually the synthesizer running while it was doing the music.
Which, at the time, you didn't have much processor in these demos. These were basically Pentium 233 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is doing a weird bass drum, weird snare drum, weird hi-hats, the 303 and reverb, and that's it. That's basically everything the machine was able to handle.
There's a lot of starting of people doing synth code for the demo scene. I mean, I feel like before these mid-90s, you didn't see that much synth code. It was more tracker coding. And then after, in the late 90s, you start seeing a lot more people coding their own synths just to have stuff, don't have to deal with samples, have to be able to compress everything and generate everything instead of having to compress them.
So that was basically the thing. TBL basically started it, or TBL were the most prominent in that case. And everybody else was trying to do that too, because suddenly you can have giant samples and filter sweeps and everything. And but most of the other intros were like, basically in the end it was a normal module player. So we did stuff like that for Elite Group with an intro that never came out actually, and for the Meccan Symposium 2000 invitation I also did that. Until in the end of 2000 I was like, okay, fuck that, computers are fast enough, let's go completely real time and let's get a complete song out of it. So that
is this a good cue to play the product, or should we watch the other demos first?
Come on.
Let's go for the product then. So
let's go for the product then. Yeah.
Eventually you did Virus 2, which was the synth that was used in the product.
Because I didn't want any trademarks and Article 13 shit, and you know that.
And this intro, when it came out, just blew everybody's heads off, because it had like texture generation, sample generation, even the 3D models where everything was generated. It had so many scenes, was completely...
It also generated a lot of Germanness.
Yeah, but I know at the party 2000, people weren't believing it. People were actually formatting their hard disk and reinstalling Windows because they didn't think it was real. And we distributed the demo. We distributed the demo, of course, the intro, of course, on floppy disk. So we bought like a few hundred floppy disks and we copied them like mad and gave everybody a copy just to say, okay, this is actually the real thing, not faked. So I mean, we had a lot of weird ideas, and I mean, my idea at this time was, okay, the time is right. Computers are fast enough to write a complete synthesizer that can output a whole song with enough tracks and stuff, and without doing too many compromises. But and all of these ideas, we had them, and we didn't really know if they would work. But in the end, at the party, when the whole intro came together, we were like, okay, fuck, this is a thing.
Seems to work.
And though we basically already we tried to cope with our own Elite Group trauma because we all were Elite Group the year before, and we were like arrogant as fuck all the time, and we tried to not be arrogant as fuck anymore, and it was hard.
It was hard not to be arrogant.
It was hard because that thing was really good, and we were like, okay, but still, stay nice about it. But luckily, it worked at some point.
First world problems when you feel bad because you're too elitist.
Shit, this is too good. What are we going to do? Yes.
But yeah, I remember farbrausch got a lot of shit because of that, especially in the early years. They were just saying, oh yeah, the elite groups just changed their name, but everyone is still there. Everyone is still...
Of course, it's the same. But Elite Group, Elite Group was an art project in that regard. The whole arrogance, the whole calling ourselves elite, those whole intros leading up to the big demo. This was a plan. This was basically a whole concept art piece that we had about over 2 years, and that was not our normal personalities. Of course not. It was fun. Yeah.
Were you already doing Workzeug when you were doing this intro, or did Workzeug come after?
Werkzeug came after, but this is basically the first. This was the first. I'm pointing to this non-existent screen here. Sorry. This was basically the first iteration of our tool called Generator back then, just simply Generator. And
Generator didn't sound German enough. You needed a more German word to it.
Yeah.
That's why you went for Workzeug.
Also, we needed the double K from all the plastic demos from the 90s.
Yeah.
Cowboy and stuff like that. So we kind of stole that. And so Werkzeug, I think the first thing that we did with Werkzeug was actually Poem to a Horse in 2002.
Okay, we will play that eventually. I actually like one of my favorite demos from all time is actually Kasparov from Elite Group.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna play it.
Let's play it.
It's a bit too long. We probably have to skip halfway. I'm gonna start in the middle because it's when I actually like the demo. When it becomes there's like this introduction of all the scenes,
so
and then it seems like to shut down, and there's this very long scene going through all the fucking world.
Yeah, actually, when we played that demo at the party, I was standing at the beam team because we knew when in the end there was that one weird screechy sound and the camera goes to the whole world that the organizers would freak out. And they did. I was like standing next to the mixer guy all the time. It's okay. It's okay.
like
it's supposed to sound that way. Like it. Keep it. Don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. Just wait for 10 seconds. Thank you. He was like, no, this is wrong. No.
It's okay. Everything is under control.
Everything is under control.
Yeah, this part I really like this whole ambience, and then the music picks up again, and it's just like it feels like a second part to the demo.
I think I'm spoiling a bit here, but Ronnie, who did the music, he's basically preparing a write-up, an article about the whole thing and how it came to be.
Really? I thought there already had been interviews and
not that much.
Okay,
and,
good.
And you know, from his perspective and the whole thing, and I read an early draft. It reads really good, and I think it will take a few weeks until he finished it and then posts it. But I think
will definitely be interesting
to nice
to
insight
check
in the makings of this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely read it for sure. The artist formerly known as Dr. Roll.
That's me. Me. Sorry, of course.
The elitist version of you.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's jump up to another demo. Let's randomly, maybe this one. You made art. You also make art.
I only did the synthesizer for this.
Okay, so you don't make art. You make music.
I don't make art. I make music art. I make music. I make code which produces sound or something.
But you don't only do music code. You're also a musician yourself. Do you have like actual CD stuff? Because I know you professionally you do game development. So why don't you do more music related?
Oh God, because I mean I tried. I mean there's in '99 I did a soundtrack for a whole game. It was called Killer Loop on the PlayStation. It was like a futuristic racing game like Wipeout. And I always had these, let's say, left brain, right brain thing. So like one part of my personality completely into music, the other part of the personality completely into computers. And when I did music for money, of course I also did that for a few other smaller things. But when money was involved, it took all the fun out of making music actually. So at some point I was like, okay.
You only like making music for fun.
I only like making music for fun. I'll do the computer stuff for a living. Yeah. So programmer now, of course.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys don't like coding graphics for money because it doesn't feel like it's fun anymore. So I can understand the same happening for music.
Yeah. So I never release a complete CD of my stuff because I can't settle for one style of music for more than 2 songs. So this is really a problem. I couldn't actually do a whole CD with that sound consistent.
We're
Sorry,
using a CD
I'm typing, but I
we
could
can
probably
also-
just speak. No signal input is saying that Scoopex released the ZX Spectrum demo a few days ago. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen it yet. I saw on the results folder, but because I was checking the results from that demo, from that party, which was Forever, I believe, and I saw the second and third place demos and they were pretty good, and I was like, oh, let's see which one got first place. And it's by Scoopex. I'm like, what the fuck? Scoopex does ZX Spectrum stuff? That's strange. I didn't know that. But the demo isn't released officially yet, so yeah. Anyways, next demo.
Next demo.
Gold Rausch. What can you tell us about Gold Rausch?
Speaking of techno demos. Yeah, we tried to cash in on the techno demo trend of the early 2000s.
Oh, this one is fantastic.
Yeah. So basically, I did parts of the engine there. And Raw Style did the music.
And everything is on sync. That's what's really...
Everything is completely on sync. we combined sync with ruthless German precision. And
Ruthless. German technology.
Yeah.
and you started getting involved with party organizing. Why? You're just masochistic?
Why? Oh
that
god,
way?
it was an accident. It was an accident. It was 96. Symposium 96, the Easter party before the first Meccan Symposium. It was a bit smaller. I mean, for those who don't know the stories, there were like 2 German Easter parties in the same location, 1 week apart, one on Easter, one on the after Easter, and they didn't know of each other. So it was Symposium and Mecca. 1 week apart, and after that they were like, we could like combine our efforts or something. That would be nice. So, but wait, let me choose one first.
Yeah, go ahead.
That one basically is the first thing I released at a demo party. The Party 94, my first big demo party.
Oh.
And we were the Obsessed Maniacs, and we were kind of silly, and I still am. And so let's do a demo without any effect in there. And I actually got like 6th place out of 20 in the 64 demo compo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There is no effect in this demo.
Yeah.
So better reset now.
Yeah. Also, first time I tried to cover a certain tune, but you will hear that in a few seconds.
So I should put this on a bit louder.
So basically, we brainstormed, and all the worst stupid ideas, we put them in there.
It's fake.
It is.
No demo.
But at least the sync is good, come on.
Yeah, it's spot on.
Yeah. Black screens, they sync very well.
Ah!
Nice.
Was this when you got the idea to do the second reality on C64?
That idea was... Let's do that after that demo, actually, because that was also a weird succession of accidents that led to the second reality cover version, to the whole thing. Yeah.
Shadebot part, yeah.
Shadebot part.
In my days, every demo had a shadebot part.
And so it's really hard to look at your first demo at the big screen ever, and it's actually, I know that now, it's even harder to look at your demo, at your first demo on the big screen ever, and you know it's pretty much crap. I mean, it's funny crap, but still. it's a full screen shadebot, come on.
Yeah, it's just so big that it fills the whole screen.
Okay. Yeah, that one was the rehash of the... It's getting better now. Yeah, but still, we're sitting there and, okay, people started laughing. I was like, okay, they're probably not going to hate us.
Small.
That record has actually been beaten, because that is 3x1 pixels, and you can do 1 and 2x1 pixels.
Obviously. You guys didn't try hard enough.
Yeah. Obviously, there must be room for improvement, come on.
Hidden line vectors. It's like you don't even see them.
Exactly.
And there are like millions of them. Do you see any line?
I'm terribly sorry for everything.
No, you're not.
I mean, these are the kind of demos that if you show to a person who doesn't know what the demo scene is, they don't really get the jokes that much. But if you are a demo scener, you really find them cringy.
Yeah. This is the one actual effect in the whole demo, the crossfade between 2 logos.
One framed fractal zoomer. It's gonna be like the full screen shade bobbing thing again, isn't it?
No, it's like just in the middle of the black part of the Mandelot set, so... Okay, but 1 to go, wait.
This is almost as good as the gray screen with no sound demo. One frame flea, the vector light. If it's one frame, how can it be a flea?
No. One frame just means a full frame rate, come on.
Oh, it's at night, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
This
So
is
that
the
was
end.
basically the first thing I ever released at a big demo party. So that was kind of an indication of stuff to come. Yeah.
I mean, it was funny.
Yeah.
You took full advantage of your capacities and turned them into positive things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was quite a spontaneous decision to go to that party, and we were like, okay, can we finish a demo until then? Nope. Okay, let's do something else. Yeah. Yeah. So the whole second reality thing, it really started as an accident because AG
You
of
can
Smash
select the
Designs-
Gravis on the Commodore. No, let's go for the Sid version instead.
Yeah. And so AG of Smash Designs, he wanted to do just the first part with the landscape scroller, even without the spaceships, just the landscape scroller, just as an homage to Second Reality. And so I started to do the soundtrack for that. And when that was finished, we were like, okay, how hard could it be to do the rest? And we were really, 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 really drunk when we decided on that.
So you concluded, we could probably do it.
Yeah, so next morning we were like, are we still going to do that? Let's try.
So how long
yeah.
did you guys spend working on this?
So, I think it was sorry, I think it was half a year of work total. The music took me months. I even for the last tune, for the last Skaven tune in the for the end scroll and stuff, I had to write a new music player because the one that I was using there, DMC, just didn't do the effects that I needed. So I basically wrote a complete music player for 64 for one song and then I threw it away. Hey,
You could have shared it at least, no?
yeah, it was. I did. I think I did actually. I put it on one disk and copied it to someone. I don't know.
And it was lost forever. Maybe
whatever.
CSDB has
yeah,
it.
Yeah, no, and I think I still have the source code somewhere because I use it with. I programmed it on I had it on a PC and then basically cross-developed to a C64 back then already. So I might have it. No, but then basically we two of the Smash Designs guys started disassembling the Second Reality. Surprise!
Which is no easy
Thing is,
feat. It
it's
had a
no
lot
easy
of
feat
tricks.
because they had a lot of tricks and a lot of protections and a lot of stuff that just got written into memory at one part and then used by another part. And if you skipped it, everything crashed. So they used a lot of tricks to prevent reverse engineering, but eventually we prevailed. So we had basically a lot of the graphics and stuff in original versions, and we had the lookup table, actually the original lookup tables for a few of the effects. And I mean the S03Ms for the soundtrack, they were released anyway. Mm-hmm. So for me it was like, okay, have this one thing
you had
on
the easy
as a
part.
reference. Yeah, I had the easy part.
Did you check the source code of Second Reality after it was released? It had a lot of very interesting tricks there that I had no idea demos on PC were doing that. Like they calculated the refresh rate and stuff like that to optimize stuff.
They did a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, I've never actually looked at the source code per se, but I read a lot of what they were doing back then. And for example, Trickster, who was doing a good capture of the thing, I think as a bonus track for one of the Mind Candy Blu-rays, he wrote a lot of stuff because the thing is actually changing refresh rates throughout the demo all the time. So you really need an old analog VGA monitor to even keep up with all the rate changes that the demo does between parts. So it's weird. Yeah. But yeah, doing that soundtrack, it was a lot of fun. It was a metric fuck ton of work, but it really was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And the reaction to releasing this was like people seeing it, okay, they're just gonna do the first scene and then it's gonna end. But no, it's the whole fucking demo.
Nope, they didn't. And they went mad, and they went mad. And then we had that thing in the end scroller. Because, of course, the original demo, the final version of the original demo, started with Second Reality by Future Crew. This demo won the Assembly 93 PC demo compo in Helsinki, I think. Yes. And yeah, of course, being truthful to the source material, we basically wrote into the end scroller from the get-go, Second Reality by Smash Designs and the Obsessed Maniacs. This demo won the C64 demo compo at the Party 7 in Ars, Denmark. And that one was scrolling up, and people who applauded, the whole felt silent at that point, because everyone was like, whoa, but nobody dared booing. So, because in their hearts, they
knew the truth.
They knew the truth, yeah.
It's not boasting if it's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything to say, Plaque?
No.
Yeah, no. So...
shall we skip to the PC stuff?
Yeah, let's skip to the PC stuff. You're back at the wheel.
I guess Candytron?
Yo, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Hell yes.
In a certain way, yeah.
My favorite of his.
Oh, yes. That also was, of course, it was the V2, my synthesizer, and I had to write a speech synthesizer for that, which kind of succeeded. If you know the lyrics, you can understand it.
You should have written subtitles as well in the bar.
I wanted. They cut it out of the final of the demo. If I had any say in there, the lyrics would have been on screen.
It's like a checkbox.
Every other demo with speech synthesis does that.
Yeah,
for good reason.
and it helps.
Hey, Planet Potion, it's so nicely understandable. No, it's not. They fucking show the lyrics on screen.
And this was also the party where Conspiracy released their first entry, and everybody was thinking like, oh, farbrausch is entering something, farbrausch will win, no option about it. And then Conspiracy had this like 3-part mega intro that started rekindled the 64K scene at the time.
It rekindled what farbrausch did years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really good, and I think Project Genesis definitely deserved first place, I must say. Yeah. And I still like how afraid the Conspiracy guys were of us back then. I mean, it's also Gaga also tells the story all the time, because like we met at the prize giving on stage. They were like, oh my god, the farbrausch people, oh my god, the farbrausch people, oh my god, the farbrausch people. We were like, hey, congratulations! They were like, what is happening here? I'm getting hugged. Okay, hi.
I don't know you. Why are you touching me?
Yes.
Yeah, you make awesome 64K.
Really
it's your family.
Yeah. I mean, they're still there in contrast to us. So.
So when is farbrausch doing 64Ks again?
As soon as somebody's coding one, I don't know.
You'll have to check.
Point is, for example, as far as synthesizers go. One thing I always hoped, even through all the boasting and that, I'm like, yeah, I'm the greatest when I did V2 back then. It was like that. This was basically pushed the whole scene to the next level. Like even also sound quality wise in intros, and this didn't happen for a few years, but now look at what Wave Saber is capable of. Look at 4klang or 64klang, and all the other people, and seriously, current 64Ks have a sound quality where I'm like, okay, I need to learn a lot of stuff to actually understand what's happening there, and I absolutely love that. It's gotten so good in the last years, and I'm really happy about that. But of course, currently I wouldn't know how to add to all this. Yeah, I mean, I could do a thing that I think
granular synthesis,
for example. I think Wave Saber is actually a nice test bed or a nice playground nowadays, because you can just add a new module to it, and it kind of works out of the box.
If you compare the source code of Wave Saber and 64klang 2, then Wave Saber is the obvious winner in means of extensibility. That doesn't mean that there are still a lot of holes in its game, but it's pretty okay. If I look at 64klang 2, it's just a complete monster of a modular synth.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure if that's the way to go.
That's basically
I tried 64klang and it just crashed renoise because it was so heavy. I couldn't play anything.
Ouch.
But it was still beta. So I talked with some people who use 64 Clang, and they told me, yeah, there are some tricks. You can't have everything turned on at the same time. But it was a bit hard to get it to work because it's just so heavy on the processor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it evaluates every node every fucking time.
Yeah.
Basically, it's Forklang just with a better UI and a bit more flexibility. Yep.
Anyways, Cargo Cult. This was one of the demos that I loved the most from farbrausch, just because it was experimental, and I was like, okay, finally the elitist guys are doing some experimental demos as well, not just as arty faggots as people label us. They like to experiment stuff as well, and I really like this this entry. So what can you tell us about it?
That you completely fell for our trick. Because actually, do you know what a cargo cult is?
The word supposed to mean something that is conceptual.
Yeah. So
name given to several religions. There are many cargo cults. Yeah. Okay.
You can Google it now. A cargo cult is basically where the word comes from certain tribes in I think Africa that never had contact with like white people, and suddenly the US built airports and air bases next to those.
Mm-hmm.
And of course this changed the life of these tribal people a lot, because suddenly planes were like arriving and getting them stuff. And then the Americans left again because they lost interest. So there was this complete airfield, completely abandoned. And it seems like some of the tribes didn't get that these planes were actually machines. They thought them as gods, and they thought that the white people were like able to summon the gods with the like things that they were waving. So that one tribe, they basically played airport on the old airfield and did everything like the white people did that they looked at, because they wanted to summon the gods too, which of course didn't work at all. So cargo cult basically means just superficially replicating a thing without actually knowing shit about what it means, which basically is when farbrausch people do artifact demos.
But it worked. I mean, you summoned the gods here, so. I mean, I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys did it on purpose or not. But
I mean, Ronnie's soundtrack is just perfect, but he didn't do that for the demo. He just had it, and we were like, okay, this is way too cool for the demo, but thanks. And of course, Rick had these weird buggy landscape engine that didn't work, and I wrote this vector effect that just went completely bonkers, and then I did a bit of scene poetry, and actually, of course, we try to make it at least semi good, so it at least has a semblance of a concept. And I mean, it has a concept actually. So in the end, I think we tricked ourselves.
Avok is saying on the chat that it was not Africa, that it was Polynesia during World War II.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Some cultural insight from Avok there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, next on our list we have Rancia by Conspiracy and farbrausch, which we already talked about. It was released at that Italian party that you visited, and decided to do a collab with your arch-rival Garguy of Conspiracy.
Yeah, just to freak people out. Okay.
I remember you got a lot of shit because it wasn't like farbrausch standards. Whatever the fuck that means.
I think Gaga and I were completely okay with that. The other farbrausch people were like, really? And we were like, yes. So yeah. No, I was like completely okay. I mean, I just read about super shapes on the internet, so I was like, okay, let's write a generator for them. And Gaga did music, and basically there's not a lot to tell about this. We just had fun doing a demo or doing a 4K for a day or two. Actually, we only had one computer. And we had to take turns, but at Horde, this was really nice because one could like work on the demo and the other could like be outside and drink a bit. And so no, it was just nice, I must say. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the concept of demo, like experimenting with stuff. You don't need to do like the epic best demo ever all the time. You can just do small stuff, like just a cube. You can do just a cube and have fun.
Did the price include spirits, local spirits that year?
So what's sorry again?
Prize.
There was a year at Horde. Well, the main prize was spirits from local spirits. From,
Yeah, I think I think I still have them somewhere.
yeah, it was that year.
Yeah, it was that year. Yeah.
They might go bad. You need to be careful.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to drink them, but I still have the bottle and put like the label on it. Yeah.
It's like 80% moonshine. So this one, Cube.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it? It's a cube.
This was basically. Sometimes even we farbrausch people can have fun doing demos and not writing 3 tools just for one production. So this was mainly Chaos who did this one effect, which like he takes a lot of meshes and then he weirdly splits them in a shader, and then he takes a meta ball effect and uses that for the splitting, and then he does weird other stuff. So this is actually polygons. This is not like
Oh, I thought it was all
not
shader.
like ray trace. No, this is not like Raymarch or ray trace. This is polygons, but of course a big shader on the polygons. Yeah. And then of course with a lot of SSAO on it. So yeah, this is another one of these demos where we just had one effect and then we basically ran with it. And of course, people like Fiverr or Gizmo or Panic actually helped setting up the effect to make it look good, because the point about us coders and farbrausch is that we're not actually really good at visuals.
You use coder colors.
No. Yeah, it's coder colors and it's kind of ugly and the camera angles are wrong and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm trying to learn that, but it's really good to have an actual graphics artist looking over your stuff and giving you hints. Yeah.
Definitely.
Uh-huh. So,
Another more recent demo that you guys did was this one, Rove. How much involved were you with Rove?
a bit. So we do since Elite Group stuff, we do this thing called Elite House, which basically is us closing ourselves in, secluding ourselves in a vacation home in like either Denmark or very northern Germany for two weeks, and working on stuff. So basically, it's vacation and work at once, because everybody's just free to work on whatever they want in their own time and in their own tempo. And so the others were working on Rove and on the new Werkzeug, the Werkzeug 4, and I think I was the guy who was optimizing all the effects, because like Chaos was busy writing the engine, and I was like, okay, this runs at 20 frames per second, let's make 60 out of that. And that was my job, and that was nice. That was like a week or two of work there. Yeah. And
Nice. We should have more Elite houses on the demo scene.
yeah.
Feels like an artistic residency kind of thing. Just put everyone there for a week and let them work at it.
There's a lot of things that were done in Elite houses there.
The product was made there?
In the last years, we had the Mercury guys there. We had the guys from Still there. We always had like Panic there and JCO, and a lot of other people. So there's actually it's a surprising lot of productions that either got started or finished, or at least worked on at the Elite House. Yeah.
Very cool.
We always wanted to do a logo for that, but we never got around to it.
This
Elite
one's
house logo.
So this is when we found out that GPUs are really good at pushing polygons. I mean, this is 2010, and we have like, I think, 3 million triangles per frame, and it's like the GPU just does it. Yeah. So I mean, nobody's doing polygons anymore on the demo scene, but still, if you do, you can do a lot of them nowadays.
There's still some people doing polygons. There's just so much going on into shader and doing like a full screen, just one shader, and do everything inside the shader focus right now. It feels like we are losing a bit of the polygon stuff. You only use polygons to load models pretty much. But then you seem to lose, like, you only use shaders to do the materials at that point. You don't really use them to do proper effects out of them.
Yeah.
Feels a bit divided, but I don't know. I feel a bit out of it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
like,
but then again, I think Demoscene is kind of over trying to emulate games now.
yeah.
Because we all know that this is pretty much impossible to get to the level that games are now, because they have like 100 of very, very, very good people and engines that have been worked on for tens of years, and a lot of money actually, and a lot of time. And it's fine to say that we in the scene can't do that, and that we have to concentrate on something else. And so it's, I think it's perfect that we have to say, hey, let's just write a pixel shader that looks good and that has an output that the game possibly couldn't do. It's just
Or basically just write anything that looks good, but
yeah,
doesn't try to be something that it's not.
exactly.
So how do you guys feel about using game engines to do demos?
I'm fine with it.
I guess Plaque is fine with it as well. He's wearing a Unity t-shirt. What about you, Pan? What do you think about using...
I'm not. I don't feel like it's fun to watch. I mean, it's something you expect to see.
You want to do your own engine from scratch all the time?
Well, not from scratch all the time. I like to reuse stuff. I reused the ray tracing engine 4 times, so I mean, I'm the first to reuse. But it's nice if it's something made by the group. I mean,
have you gotten into the whole distance function things that people with pixel shaders have been abusing so much lately? I mean, you have ray tracing background from the 90s, so you should know a lot of the basics behind that stuff.
Well, I think the recent ray tracing is completely different from what we did in the 90s. So
Okay.
the 90s was just functions, implicit functions. That was it. Spheres, cylinders, and planes. Now it's any kind of implicit function, and you sample it. We were solving the equation, so it's completely different.
Okay.
Still, you do have to prepare.
Yeah, I do. I still have to study.
Some people on the chat, they're saying some interesting stuff. Me and a friend have done a couple of demos using Unity, as I was tired of having to do everything as pre-render, so I'm not a coder. Yeah, I mean, if you're not a coder, usually using an engine is a lot better way to just be able to put your stuff on the screen and see them and work on them, instead of having to rely on a coder like the good old days. And Viz is saying that the Unity is good for demo tools. Like
I can very much also say that. I mean, in my professional life, we've done a game with Unity, and it's so easy to extend the Unity engine with own editors and stuff. So you can basically make Unity into the Unity. You can make the Unity editor into everything you want within hours. If you want to, so it has these immediate mode UI, this ImGUI as it is called now, and it's very, very simple to write a custom UI for custom stuff, and then you put your shaders into Unity, and then you can play with that, and then you just, I mean, it's C#, just export it as text file, and you can do your intro with that, something like it.
First thing I did actually to get acquainted with Unity was to watch that talk by Yugi of Complex.
Oh yeah.
Works.
Oh yeah.
Well, that really got me started. It's like, all right, this shit works.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff with Unity. He even does like daily demo scenes. If you follow him on Facebook, you see him posting every day.
He makes beautiful stuff.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
We have one more demo on your playlist, which is Sunray.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for giving Poem to a Horse, by the way.
I didn't play Poem to a Horse. That's true. We can still play it.
That's too hot. Please don't.
I mean, Sunray was like, it was the Sunrise Party in England, in Luton. And I wanted to find out how all this ray marching stuff works, and I wanted to try it for Klang, and basically I hacked together an intro in 2 days, and
It's fun.
yeah, it looks fun, and people at the party were helping me, and this is basically again an example for the fun side of demo making. Just do stuff for a few days. Do it as good as you can do in those 4 days, but don't try to be too perfectionist about things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at one point at sunrise I was so drunk that I was like, okay, let's not try to improve that any further. Let's just plug it up and upload it.
It's already well improved.
As long as I still can, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're reaching the end of the show. We probably still... Woo. I guess we can still play Poem to a Horse just to upset Pan a little bit.
Thanks. You know why I'm Steve out.
Well, why do you hate Poem to a Horse?
I don't hate it. I mean,
I don't like it either. So maybe we can play the popular demo.
Yeah,
would
sure.
be
We
nice.
can play
Yeah.
the popular
Yeah.
demo to wrap things up.
Well,
Let me search for it real quick then. Hold on. The popular
the
demo.
point about Poem to a Horse was that it was released at Mecca 2002, when we had this good demo until then, but the last demo was Poem to a Horse, and we realized it was right.
So you're doing it out of spite.
It's personal. It's just personal.
Yeah, it's personal. Just steal.
Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks to our Patreon supporters: Garfield, Jeff Thornbrunn, Paul John Popkit, Del Topo, Fulcrum, Paul Falcão, Gerrit Wessendorf, Trickster, Evil, and Gaspar. Thanks so much for your support. Thank you guys, our guests KB, Pan, and Plaque, for being with us today. It was great talking with you guys. And we're gonna find someone to raid. I think Luna Sorcery is doing his/her live coding shading thing, so we're probably gonna raid her. So that's it for today. See you guys next time. Hope you guys have a great rest of week. Oh,
Okay.
Melmison is saying something. Let's read it. If anyone wants to see, this is one of the demos me and my friend made using Unity. I did most of the graphics, and so I composed all the music. He did some shader coding in Unity for it. The start of it is a bit alone the story of old Bruce Lee from the C64. Okay. We can show it real quick. Wow, 15 minutes long. That's huge.
Ooh,
That's huge.
almost like a C64 demo.
Almost.
Are we gonna watch this demo before we quit?
Well, if it's 15 minutes long, I don't think we can. So, but I mean, the link is on the chat, so I hope you guys check it out. Sorry, Mail Missing, I won't show it, but I will keep it listed so I will play it next show, I promise.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick off the raid. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye.
It's been a pleasure.